Morning, people. How's everyone doing? Yeah, just my thoughts from the show last night on Sava's channel, Spurs review. Yeah, getting into it as we all do. We all got so much to say about Spurs, and look, it's about. I mean, what I've taken from last night is it's just being realistic, isn't it? As a Spurs fan, it comes down to at the end of the day, you know, I've been banging on that we need to bring in three, four top players coming in. I mean, I'm probably delusional, aren't I? I probably am, but that's what I want to see. Many fans want to see that Spurs finally kind of push the boat out and be serious. But I mean, need a bit of reality sometimes, and the reality is probably after the discussion last night and hearing from people is yeah, if we get two, that'll be a start, right? That'll be a start. Two established players coming into the team, and that's more achievable than what I've been saying. Three or four players, but it's just never going to happen, is it? It's never going to happen, you know. But this is it for me, and what I also from last night that why Spurs haven't taken any action yet in the transfer market is because our financial year starts on the 1st of July, so that's maybe when the actual transfers will start getting together. Um, and until then, it's all just rumours, paper talk, whatever you want to call it. So look, it's a bit of patience. We need to be as a Spurs fan. We have to be patient. Got to be realistic. We all have our dreams and hopes, and we want the season to be so much better next season. We want Frank to do well, and we want the club to support Frank in giving him the players that he needs, and start working towards building this kind of team together when they come back from pre-season, and that's what we all we're looking ahead for. Now, also like Frank, there'll be certain players that he might like, certain players that he feel he could bring in from another league, um, wherever that is, and that Frank can build build that player into a better player. Really get him into the side, and it might be like a Frank type player, I guess. Frank, I think he likes quite like physical players, doesn't he? Strong players, um, and good. He likes the set pieces. He likes that power in his teams. Maybe there's a player who he can unlock in an attacking sense that maybe he's going under the radar. We might not all know as fans, but some good scouting. He might have some good knowledge of certain players in other leagues that you can think, okay, so we can bring him in, be a bit of a surprise. I'm okay with that as long as that is alongside a couple of ready-made players to come into the side. I'm okay for that because we have seen what Frank can do with players coming into Brentford. Unknowns really, and he turns them into Premier League players that other clubs want to buy. Players like Mbeumo, Wizza. He did well with Tony, um, Damsgaard, players like that. There's a number of players that Frank has improved. So it's probably being more realistic. And I know it's hard, but I mean this is Spurs, right? Spurs have never ever shown any ambition other than what they've done, and it's just not been enough, has it? So look, it's that combination of bringing in a couple of players that Frank wants that he can develop in this side, and alongside those two kind of established players, whatever those positions they are. I do feel like our forward line needs work. Frank praises the forward line. Maybe his system will get more out of them. I just do think we lack that star quality. We do, and I think as a club, if we do really want to push on and start pushing up that league, start challenging for things seriously, there needs to be work started on bringing in those players that are going to make a difference in games for Spurs. And I just don't think we have any really. Madison is a talented player, but he wouldn't run a whole game, would he? And I just think that forward line it needs some work. We need someone strong in that midfield, whatever that is. If it's defensive or if it's like a playmaker, a tempo setter. There's a lot of talent out there, and the club must be looking at what are the best talent out there who can come into this side with a good price that can come in and agree to come to Spurs. We need some cover in defence as well. I think left back is an area that's we must improve on. You know, you have Porro, Spence right back, got plenty of players in the centre back positions. A lot of talk that Romero could be on his way out, but I mean, unless a team's going to come in and put a £70 million bid on, I don't think Levy will let him go easily. Um, I don't know. You know, what does Frank want? Who does he want to keep? You can't keep them all. There's going to have to be some players to go out, and then for space for the new players to come in. Then there's the whole homegrown issue that it seems to be an issue as well. You hear a lot about, read a lot about that. That's a challenge for Spurs signing the English players, and then you have to have a number of what's it called now when they've been at the club and they've got into the first team, homegrown or whatever it's called. So look, it's the transfer window. It's not straightforward. You know, we can all shout and scream, we want this player, we want that player, but it's a process which just takes time. But what we do want is that we want those two key players coming in, and the ones that come in with them, as I said, they've got to be someone that is really going to kind of help the team and improve us, right, and improve the players we already have in the side, get it going. Look, it's frustrating, really frustrating being a Spurs fan, being really frustrating the summer transfer window. I really hate it, but hopefully come July that we'll start seeing some movement. Guys, give us your thoughts on anything you've heard today. How you feeling? Are you hopeful? As what I said made sense. If it hasn't, obviously come back and tell me why. I always enjoy having back and forth with people about different things I say. It's always fun, isn't it? And interesting to talk about. We all got different opinions. We all got different outlooks of how we see things. So, guys, anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully, I'll be getting a live show this week. I want to finish off what I started last week. So, hopefully, there'll be something something coming up on my channel soon. So you can all come and watch it and get involved. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. And as always, come on, you Spurs.